This is the End Show, and I'm your host, Gus Summers. We are back. We are talking with great musician, songwriter, definitely music historian, Troy Morris. He laughs. Come on.
Gus, man, come on, man. You flatter me. You flatter me.
Listen to the stories you've been telling. You've been around, so
well, it's fun stuff, man. Yeah. Fun stuff. You know, you could have picked a more boring career. That's for sure.
That's it. So tell us a little bit about the song you want to play.
Well, I have a songwriting buddy, Derek Dupree, who Chris Brook here, my engineer. We worked a lot, late into the nights and early into the mornings at Westlake. You know, Steve gave us seemingly unlimited recording time in the various rooms at Westlake to make some really great quality songs and recordings. And yes, there was a group of us working. We were all collaborating. I just want to reinforce that point.
Right.
Derek and I were sitting at my house, and we were sort of going from, we were transferring things from 8-at tape. Now, folks, 8-at tape is a VHS format, 8 tracks of audio. So people would put, you know, drums, keys, vocals, bass. Well, you know, us being sort of, you know, not having a whole lot of resources, we would use one tape for 8 songs. So on track 1, you'd have one song. On track 2, you would have another song.
That's right.
Et cetera, et cetera. So we were going through tapes one day, transferring them into Pro Tools, and running through the tape, had the faders kind of semi-up, and all of a sudden he goes, "Hey, play that back again." And this is an old tape, and I turned all the other faders down, pulled up number 2, and it was a song called "One Good Reason," and we had only written the first verse.
Right.
Had he not been there, I would have skipped right past that song, and this song would have never came about. So
wow.
I want to give you a little bit of this one.
Okay, right on.
This is the first verse we wrote. Everyone's talking me down. I must be the biggest fool around. 'Cause everyone knows what my heart can't believe. One good reason is all I need.
Look at that.
Give me one good reason, oh, one good lie, and I keep holding on to a love that has died, and all I need to save my pride is one good reason, oh, one good lie. So I said, "Hey man, that's pretty good, man. I like that a lot. Can we finish it, you know?" So he said, "Yeah, man, let's take a shot at it." So like 15 minutes later, we had the rest.
Nice.
If your words could ease my pain, just tell me that you love me again. 'Cause even though we both know it ain't true, it's reason enough to get me through. Give me one good reason, oh, one good lie, and I keep holding on to a love that has died, and all I need to save my pride is one good reason, oh, one good lie. The short version.
Hey, applause, applause. That is great. So after how many years you rediscovered it?
This was like 8 years or maybe 10 years later, Chris, something like that.
Wow.
Something like that, yeah.
Wow. There's Chris in the back. Chris,
say hello, Chris. Chris Brook. Engineer extraordinaire.
Adam, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm glad you made it.
Well, you know, I have to support my friend here and support other songwriters.
You're the man. You're the man.
I think he's come up with a great idea.
Well, we're going to try it out here.
That's right.
Well, let's talk real quickly. I know we're kind of running out of time here, but I want to talk about sort of where it came. You know, coming from the analog point of view at Westlake Studios, when I went into the sales department upstairs, I began, the advent of Pro Tools came about, digital audio workstations.
Yes.
So I began to make a living selling the beast, as I call it, the analog killer.
Yeah.
I saw less and less people coming into the large format studio,
right.
such as Westlake or the record plant. More people staying at home, doing stuff at home, a lot less collaboration.
Right.
And I do believe that caused somewhat of a demise in the quality of music because people weren't collaborating.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, I've had great success selling the digital beast for many years. In fact, audio consulting and sales is still the mainstay of what I do for a living today. But I have enjoyed the benefit of seeing the change or the segue or the evolution, whatever you want to call it, firsthand. Therefore, compelled to try in some small way to take this opportunity to try and effect a change by encouraging creatives to get back together and collaborate and rediscover the true art of making not just good, but great music.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. We got a few minutes left.
So let's talk about the LA Songwriters Group and what we want to do.
Exactly.
This is a pretty exciting thing. Collaboration, again, is more than just a singer or a songwriter. I believe that it's a creative process that happens with, a group of people, obviously. So the goal here of the group is to get people back in the room, eyeball to eyeball, face to face, belly to belly.
Yes.
Instruments.
Yes.
In a band, when you're in a band together in the room, you can make a chord change or a segue by looking at each other.
Right.
Okay, you can't do that at home.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Why
right.
should I spend all my time trying to figure out how to run a sequencer whenever I got Joe over here who can run the sequencer just fine? We can get started. We can move right along. I can do what I do well. He does what he does well. Chris, as the engineer, just rocks right along, and everybody's happy, right?
Right.
We're making really good music. I would like to see this group affect change, Gus.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
again, arguably the biggest music market in in the world,
Yes.
Los Angeles.
Yes. And just we mentioned it earlier. Sitting here right before the show, you're practicing away. You happen to say a little something, and me, by no means am I fancy myself, anything. I just heard that phrase, and I said that would be a great song. Jotted it down, shared it with you. We've been going back and forth.
Sure.
Boom, the soul of what you are wanting to do,
Exactly.
collaboration.
Well, there you go, man. No better proof than that.
Yeah.
So, as far as the group goes, it's LA Songwriters Group,
Yes.
and it's we have a Facebook page, and we
Please.
started with the Facebook page because it's a little more viral, goes a little quicker.
Yes.
Everybody's on Facebook except for my buddy Chris here.
Ah.
We're going to get him on after the show.
All right.
We do have a website for the Los Angeles Songwriters Group, Gus. It's called the LASongwritersGroup.org.
That's it.
So it's LASWG.org
Beautiful.
or LASWG.com. You're going to find it if you just type in
That's
Los
right.
Angeles Songwriters Group.
You will.
Okay?
You will. Or the fabulous Troy Morris, of course.
Now we're going to have our first meeting at Westlake Studios. So
Nice.
a lot of people who have joined who've never maybe been in a large format recording studio.
Yes.
Steve has offered up the facility for us to have our first meeting.
Nice.
So looking forward to doing that the first or second week in March,
Look at
and that will
that.
be announced on both the Facebook page and on LASWG.org.
Hey, looking forward to it, and maybe we'll have our song done, and we
Hey,
can show what
you know what I
collaboration
mean?
still works.
Hey, and the heat's on now.
That's right. That's right. And we got an engineer. And we got everything.
That's what it's all about.
That's awesome.
That's it. That's it.
So that's kind of the deal, we really just want to get all kind of people. We want to
Yes.
get the country guys and the hip hop guys and the
Right.
and the folk guys and the rock people. Again, it's a collaborative process. Chris and I have been late into the night, again, and early into the mornings at Westlake. And I got to tell you, an engineer, a really good engineer, is just as creative as a lyricist to
yes.
keep you going, because he
Oh,
would
yeah.
give direction at the end of the night. No, do it this way, do that. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. So I'd play it that way. And
Try it this way.
yeah,
Try it this way, yeah.
Chris, the best thing I like about Chris is I would say, well, I have a concept about I want to do this. And he would say, why not?
That's it.
It's my
That's it.
favorite two words that Chris
Why
ever
not
says is,
try it?
why not?
He has that openness, that willingness.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, I found that the engineer is, sometimes just the rock. When everyone else is, off creatively, they're like, well, let's do this and make you stick right to it. Yeah, right on.
Exactly.
Focus.
That's right. Keep the focus. That's right. Right on. Troy, we got just like another minute. Why don't you play us out with a little something?
Well, we'll play out with this Song of Rounds that would actually finish the last verse before the other people that were sitting there in the group knew that these lines were coming.
All right.
Have you ever made a mistake as deep as the ocean? Have you ever made a mistake as big as a big blue sky? Well, I have when I said goodbye.
All right, we've been listening to the intro. We've had in-studio guest Troy Morris from the Los Angeles Songwriters Group. And be sure to visit us here at the intro. We'll have links to his pages. And be sure to visit when they got that group and meeting going in March.
Gus, thank you so much. I really appreciate the time here, and it was great meeting you at the convention. And thanks for having me on.
Oh, my pleasure. Hey, Troy, thanks again. Hey, Chris, good meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm looking forward to all our collaborations in the future.
Oh, let's start writing now.
That's it, brother. All right. Well, this has been the In Show, and you've been listening to Gus Stummers. Be sure to visit us at theinshow.com, and we'll catch you next time.